Well, here we are once again at the spring anime season. And we have quite the few interesting ones that I want to see, and it ranges from stuff that you all know I'm going to review to new things which I wasn't quite expecting, but they have gotten my attention. Now, the wonderful thing with AniChart is that if you don't like something, you click the cross and then make things disappear, and then you can highlight them green and yellow. So AniChart is quite handy if you want to pick and choose the kind of anime that you want. Anyway, let's get on with what I will be watching and hopefully reviewing from next week. A lot of these start from next week. Episode 1 in 5 days, episode 1 in 4 days. This one is in 4 days. Oh my goodness, they're all happening very, very soon, so I better get this video out the way pretty quickly. So, first of all, we have Asterisk War 2. Yes, Asterisk War 2. Now, I should say that a lot of my subscribers, they are either Gundam fans or science fiction school anime fans, so that's probably why Asterisk War did quite well on my channel. So I'm going to give the second series a try. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Asterisk War gets a lot of negative criticism, and I understand all of that negative criticism. Honestly, I do. Asterisk War is one of the most shallow anime I have ever seen. I mean, it is fucking shallow. It's just visuals and people talking, and it's how do I say this? It is a waste of time, but as I'm watching it, it does not feel like a waste of time, if that makes sense. It's like if you watched like Digibro did this series of why Asterisk War was bad. He mentioned something about Asterisk War and A1 Pictures. It's like McDonald's. Like, it's a waste of time going to McDonald's because you're just eating junk, but it doesn't feel like a waste of time. So with that said, I can cope with Asterisk War, but if Asterisk War this second season does turn out to be terrible, just terrible, and if it's even more shallow and even more brainless and even more stupid than the first series, then I'm probably going to drop it. But you know, I managed to stay with the first series for quite some time, mostly because I really like the character of Saya. I think she's a very interesting character, and I want to see more of Saya. So yeah, I'll give Asterisk War 2 a try, and hopefully it will be a little bit better, or hopefully at least on the same level of Asterisk War 1, and I won't be dropping Asterisk War 2. But you never know, we'll see. We'll see if A1 Pictures can turn the series around, because if you watch the series by Digibro, the things that he says, the negatives that he says, I mean, I agree with quite a lot of it, but yeah. Asterisk War 2 is like a second helping of McDonald's. So the next on the list, this is in yellow, so it may or may not be good, is 100. 100, yes, a very, very simple title, but we'll see how this one goes. So it looks like a typical fantasy mecha anime. We have kids fighting aliens. Let's see, mysterious savage life form attacking Earth. So it looks pretty average. And sometimes average mecha anime can work, sometimes average mecha anime can not work. We'll just have to see how it goes. That's why it's in yellow, because will it work? Will it not work? It's not very clear as to whether it will or will not, but the tags says it's got action, harem, ecchi, mecha, school. You guys like your school, right? And science fiction, so we'll give it a try, see how it goes. And of course, for the 50% of my subscribers, I will be reviewing Gundam RE 0096. Now, from what I've read, it's something to do with Gundam Unicorn, and apparently it's just been remade. Gundam Unicorn has been remade to be this this additional series for the season of anime. I don't know, but it has the word Gundam in it, so it must be good, and Iron Blooded Orphans was a pretty good anime, so hopefully this one will be able to do quite well. And looking at the poster, it looks like the animation is going to be better than Iron Blooded Orphans, maybe. So we'll just have to see. So yeah, look forward to that in 4 days' time. Now another one here, which is highlighted in green, I was not expecting this anime at all. It's called Kiz Niver. Now this seems like one of those really interesting science fiction anime, one that has an interesting setup, something about sharing wounds. So that could be interesting, sharing wounds, I hope. So yeah, it seems like one of those science fiction anime that seems really interesting, has this interesting setup, and looking at the art style, now the art style is kind of strange. It is worrying me a little bit because it looks like the animation style of what's it called? That really crappy anime. Fafnir Exodus. It looks like the animation style of Fafnir Exodus, and that was a terrible anime, which is kind of worrying me a bit because the problem with the animation style of Fafnir Exodus is that it was just so forgettable and all the characters look the same. Look at this, all the characters are... He and her, they look quite similar. Oh my goodness, is this going to be one of those anime that looks good, but is not really that good? We'll just have to wait and see. But I think it's an interesting enough setup. We'll just see how the execution will go down. And it's on Crunchyroll as well, so I'll be able to watch that in HD. Next we have Macross Delta. Yes, that piece of shit Macross Delta. I mean, my goodness, the amount of dislikes on the episode 1 review on my channel is unbelievable. Hardly anybody likes the first episode of Macross Delta, and this is my first entry to the Macross franchise, and the first episode, I mean, some of the visuals looked good, but for the most part, that first episode was so empty, and all the singing stuff just was not very well executed, and it just made me cringe and cringe and cringe. So we'll just have to see where it goes. I mean, Macross is quite popular. I mean, the first episode I reviewed is quite popular on my channel, so I'm assuming you guys want me to review Macross Delta, or at least give it 2 more episodes. And also I will be reviewing Macross Delta with an actual camera this time. I'm actually going to film myself doing the review because episode 1 got a copyright strike, which is really shocking stuff. So for episode 2 and episode 3, if I even make it to episode 3, I'm going to film myself doing those reviews. So we'll just see if Macross Delta actually turns around to something less cringeworthy and something actually watchable. But my goodness, that first episode just... it was a cringe fest. We'll just have to see how this Macross Delta goes. Yeah, there's a reason it's in yellow. It's probably not going to work out. So we'll jump onto another science fiction one before I jump into the non-science fiction one. This one, Terraformers Revenge. Now, Terraformers sounds quite familiar. So it did have a prequel called Terraformers, which is probably why I've heard this before. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot and see where it goes, because I've heard it before. So yeah, maybe it'll work. You know, it looks very adult. Looks like it's for an adult audience. So we'll have to see where this one goes. I honestly don't know where this will go, Terraformers Revenge. It looks like it's for quite a mature audience, so maybe it'll be mature enough for me, or will the mature stuff just drag it all down to hell? We'll have to wait and see. I have no idea. I'm more or less going into Terraformers blind. So just quickly, the non-science fiction stuff. Mayoiga. Now the setup for this is quite interesting. It's a mystery anime. got 30 characters, so I'm assuming characters are going to die. I'm assuming they're not going to have 30 characters for, what, 12 episodes? Are they? We'll have to wait and see. I'm assuming something will happen to the characters to decrease the amount, because they're not all going to be there for the majority. I mean, how would they juggle them all? But we'll see what happens to the 30 characters, and if there are too many characters for me to keep up, I'm probably going to drop the series. But I like a good mystery anime, and Kindaichi Returns just finished airing, so I need my mystery anime, guys. I need mystery anime to keep my intellectual taste buds satisfied. So Mayoiga by Dio Media. We'll see how that one goes, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Actually, it looks really interesting. Also, in terms of mystery anime, we have the new Detective Conan movie. To be honest, I've only ever seen one really good Detective Conan movie, and that was the one where all the cops start getting killed. That was really interesting because it was just so old school. It was old school mystery anime, and honestly, that movie, I think it's called The Something in Her Eyes, the movie. You'll have to look it up, but it's quite a good movie. It's very old school, and it was very interesting, very intriguing. Oh yes, and if you haven't got enough Gundam already, we have the next episode of Gundam The Origin. Hopefully we'll see a lot more mecha action in the next episode of Gundam The Origin, because if I remember correctly, episode 2 left off with the siblings separating, with the blonde guy going off to be a pilot, so there'll probably be a lot more mecha action, but I'd say the Gundam The Origin is more of a political drama, really, because it focuses a lot more on the politics and the politicians, which doesn't always work for me, but Gundam The Origin is okay, and I can see it slowly getting better and better. So hopefully episode 3 will be badass. And also, here is another mecha anime, RS Kaikaku Rebirth Storage. Wow, what a title! Rebirth Storage. We'll have to see where that one goes. It also has the mystery tag. I love a good mystery. Mystery does tend to work quite well with mecha anime, because it just draws you in a lot more. So yeah. Winner of the smartphone novel company Every Star's Mecha Suku contest. Oh, good! It's a winning anime. So oh yes, I can't wait for them to unravel the mystery. It's always nice when the mysteries get unraveled. And finally, Under the Dog. Oh my goodness, Under the Dog. If you have not seen the trailer for Under the Dog, watch the trailer. It is just so badass. I'm a bit worried about Under the Dog because Under the Dog does look quite shallow. It looks like a really shallow science fiction anime, but judging by the awesome trailer, I think it's going to be one of those anime that it just entertains you with its visuals. Even though it's shallow, it'll be really entertaining visually, and that's good enough for me. I'm a sucker for technical anime when it's done right. So yeah, Under the Dog, oh my goodness, I cannot wait. Most likely I'm going to be sticking with Asterisk War 2 and Gundam, and hopefully Kisniver if it turns out to be good. I'm a bit worried because it's on Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll they don't always get it right when it comes to science fiction anime, when it comes to licensing them, but they got it right with Schwarzamerican, so maybe, just maybe, Kisniver will be one of those like really underrated science fiction anime that is really good. It turns out to be really good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video of me rambling on about the various anime that I will be hopefully reviewing for spring 2016. I'll try and watch a science fiction live action movie to review. I feel like I'm doing too much anime, but I'm just aware that most of my subscribers are here for school science fiction anime and Gundam anime, and maybe a little bit of mecha anime. So I'm just, you know, feeding the audience, as it were, satisfying the audience, and I want to do that. I appreciate it when you guys like my videos and comment on my videos. A lot of you are starting to comment on my videos a lot more than you were a few months ago, so that's progress for you. So yeah, thank you all for your support so far. I'm hoping to reach 100 subscribers in the next 3 or 4 months, but right now I just want to focus on building a cyberpunk community by reviewing as much cyberpunk stuff that I like as possible, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some really good gems in this spring season.